D Word Podcast, and today in the podcast, I'm not going to be talking about the things you normally hear me talk about. For those of you that have been watching my podcast for a while now, I'm Dion, I'm a radio host. That's what I do. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I don't focus too much on my podcast. Honestly, time is pretty much against me, especially when it comes to the holiday season. But with today's podcast, whenever I do host these podcasts, I don't interview anybody. I just chat to you. And I feel that sometimes there's a lot of things I want to talk about that I think could be relevant in your world. And sometimes we could be ignorant towards these conversations because we just don't talk enough about them. But I want to talk about Christmas, but not in the traditional sense like you and I know it. And to give you the analogy, when we were kids, our parents would always ask us, "What do you want for Christmas?" And you would say what you want, and then your parents would ask you, "Make sure you're nice this year, and make sure you tell Santa Claus," right? But as a kid, the wants of Christmas is centered around you being good and receiving something over Christmas time built on your behavior, right? But as you grow up as an adult, something happens where simple things matter and not things. Simple situations matter. The gift of life, the gift of hanging out with the right people, the gift of family. But still, there's something missing. I recently had a conversation with somebody, and this person didn't take what I said very well. And the reason why I said it is because a lot of us, if we are not aware, we can be caught up in the same position. I wish I realized this earlier in life. But because I still realized it, I felt like, hey, I could still share it with you. And if one person can make a difference from adjusting their mindset to this, it will make a whole lot of difference in your world. You ready for this? All right. Christmas is not the season of being selfish. It's not. But if you and I only make it about our family, our friends, and what we want, we kind of like are falling in that same boat. I'm being honest with you, right? But Christmas is the season of giving, which means giving to people who need it. Now, I'm not saying we should be judges of people who need it. I'm just saying give to an organization, give to people. Make a tradition of Christmas not about just you and your circle, but make it about your circle and helping those around you. For example, I was sharing this with a friend of mine, and I told him, if you want to make a difference, train your kids to be also not only wanting for Christmas, but also giving. So create a tradition where you go to maybe an orphanage, an old age home, an animal shelter, and give a donation there. Let your kids understand that this is what Christmas is all about. Not just about only wanting things, but also about giving over this time of the year. You may say, okay, maybe I don't have enough to give. Then teach tradition, help out people. Your time is also something you can give. Join a soup kitchen, help out, do something. Because Christmas comes once a year. But it cannot only be about us, it needs to be about the entire world around us. Not every single one of us have the ability to just have everything or do everything. But if we can be a blessing and just try and shape people's minds where we say, hey, let's donate this for Christmas. If we have leftover meals for Christmas, let's not stash it. Let's give it, because somebody right now is needing a meal. I never talk about this often on my podcast, and I never talk about it on radio because I don't like talking about the things I do. But I'm going to share with you some of the things I do because this is very important to me. I love helping animal shelters, and a lot of animal shelters during this time of the year are very busy. So if you are a person that wants to adopt an animal, now's a good time to make it a tradition. Take your kids along and say, hey, would you like to have a pet for Christmas? Let's go find one. You go to an animal shelter and get a pet for Christmas. It's the best thing and the best awesome gift your kids will do and appreciate over the holiday season. And the blessing you will give this animal. That's if you are an animal person. If you are a person that doesn't have anybody around, that doesn't stop you from hanging out with other people, there's lots of old age homes where people are starving for conversation. You can be that person that goes there just out of the goodness of your heart and is willing to share and talk to somebody. Friends, there's no high and low in this conversation. It's just a simple, if this pertains to you, how can you do something about it? And if it doesn't pertain to you and you say, I don't want to, that's also okay. But I hope it does make a difference in your life. Christmas is all about making a difference. Season of giving. Season of giving. So if you've never really done a donation over Christmas time, or you never really helped somebody, look around you if you don't want to go to an organization and ask people, hey, who in your circle needs something and how you can contribute towards that person. Remember, you do have to have some boundaries when you give, because it's not about doing it out of remorse. You're going to do it because you want to, and you want to give it without any T's and C's. That's what blessings are all about. It's like when you want something, you don't say, hey, I want this gift, but it's a T's and C's. No, you want to give it, and that's yours. So when you give something for someone over Christmas time, don't ask where's it going. Just say, hey, I feel like this person needs it. I'm going to give it. Maybe they need a food parcel. Maybe they need something. Or maybe ask people who you know, what do you need for Christmas? How can we help you out? Christmas is about blessing somebody. So my goal of this podcast today was a very simple one. If you've never really done anything special for Christmas time, I challenge you, since we got time now before Christmas, find somebody, find someone, something who you can bless this festive season. And your giving could change the way you look at the season of giving, which is Christmas. So I will be doing a few more podcasts like these. It's really hard for me right now to do podcasts every single week, but I'm going to try my level best to come back and touch base with you. If you are following me on my social medias, you'll know I'm very busy, but I always try to make a way to come through there. But the podcast between now and Christmas, if you haven't really checked out, I've put up some Christmas carols. Hopefully you enjoy them. And check out my Mixcloud, because there's a whole lot of Christmas carols there that are separate to YouTube. So if you missed this one, check the next one. And hope you do check it out, the next one, because it's just as important as this one. So good luck in your preparation for Christmas. And I hope you can be a blessing to someone out there. Take care.